So congratulations on the show hitting season 11. Did you ever think the show would run this long?
I don't think anyone goes into a pilot thinking it's going to be running for over a decade. So every year we're kind of pinching ourselves.
Erin spends so much time with Anthony, and the relationship that you've developed with Steve Sharmap over the years. What's it been like to sort of like to have this character? He's sort of like your big brother on the show.
Yeah, one that doesn't, needle me or, cause problems, basically. He's great. I was thrilled that they found me somebody that not only looked the part, but really feels like the part. And he's kind of dropped right into the role, obviously coming from a much different notoriety in his previous work. And he's great. I mean, we have such an ease with each other that it really doesn't feel like that we're having to work,
And Erin is so set apart from the other members of the family since she's not a police officer. But are you ever jealous that you don't get to get into some of the action scenes that Will and Danny get to do?
Well, I mean, sometimes I do. I've had a couple scenes where I'm, with a gun or taking people down, but frankly, a lot of that stuff happens at night, and I'm much better early morning. I mean, right around 4 p.m., I start getting punch drunk, just giggly, and I'm not good at night. So I think it's better that I'm in the courtroom and not having to be out on the streets.
You did have
better for me.
You did have that scary car accident last season.
Yeah, that's right.
Were you ever afraid that would be like a longer running story, that maybe Erin would be hurt longer?
No, I don't think anybody wants to spend time watching me in the hospital bed, including the directors. So I don't think they were ever threatening to do that.
But the advantage you have, though, is you get to spend a lot of time with Tom Selleck compared to the other guys. And
yeah.
What's it? Do you feel lucky that you get to spend that much time with this well-respected actor who's, without him, it's hard to see Blue Bloods existing?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, he's a patriarch of the show, and he's a legend. He's an icon. Everybody has known him over generations. So it's wonderful. And he's such a talent, and has, always has that moment to sprinkle some of his wisdom on you and with you. And he's great. I had the pleasure of helping him be honored at some event down in Florida recently, and they played a whole kind of mini series on his life, and he's done so much work. And yeah, he was a total stud. I'm sure if I was, a little bit older, he would have been my man crush for sure. But now he's my dad, so I can't really have a crush on him.
But in the premiere, I did get to watch tonight's premiere, and you have this great scene with him where you're concerned about whether or not the last words that you say to Danny are kind of negative. So how do you guys prepare for a heavy scene like that?
Well, what's nice about working with such a pro like Tom is that we kind of both do our preparation, and then we're just present with each other. And really that's, a tribute to the casting, because that's how we've kind of fell into it from day one. On the first episode in the pilot, we all met around the family dinner, and we all fell into our familiar roles instantly, and it seemed to just click. So in those kind of scenes, Dad has, a way of keeping it light sometimes, with at the same time understanding the gravity, and again, giving out some wisdom.
I like how you just referred to him as dad.
Dad.
But the biggest change that Erin's had is letting go of Nikki. And I was wondering, is there any chance that Sammy Gayle might be coming back for another guest appearance this season? Do we see her again?
Yeah, we just saw her last week for a family dinner scene. I don't know what kind of storylines the writers are writing, so hopefully she'll be coming back and doing something with us. We had a nice scene together with Jack Boyle last year that was really nice and romantic and sweet. So it was nice to have the family together then. So anytime we can put some of those moments in Blue Bloods is terrific.
And the premiere has this great moment with Baez coming in and being welcomed.
With Baez? Oh, yeah.
So that was good.
That was a nice surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was nice to welcome another member. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did speak with Will a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about the robots being used to film the dinner scenes. What's that been like with these robots coming in?
I think that, look, I love the crew, so I'm always going to be fighting for those guys to get back in the room, and we don't use those cameras for any of my other scenes. So it's really just the family dinner scenes. I think it's really just a precaution to keep as few people in the room, given the times we're living through with COVID. So hopefully we'll move past all that and get the guys back in the room.
I remember a few years ago in some interview, you talked about how bad the food was during the dinner scenes. So has it gotten any better over the years?
I don't know if the food is bad, but when you're eating for 4 hours, you just never feel good. Like I just had a family dinner today and I feel disgusting, and I only ate green beans the whole time.
It reminds me
it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. It was like I was listening to the Office Ladies podcast where Jenna Fisher was talking about how in the office they had to eat like this pie, and she couldn't eat that pie for the rest of her life because of so many kids eating that pie.
Yeah. That happened to me once. I did a commercial for like pantyhose or something back in my past life, and they made me eat cheesecake throughout the entire commercial. I just kept having to eat the cheesecake and eat it and eat it. And the male model was supposed to look at my legs, and he wouldn't look at my legs. So I had to eat more cheesecake. I've never had cheesecake since. Random story, but there you got it. You got the scoop.
Well, and the show did bring in another member of the Reagan family with Joe Hill, and he's got a lot of scenes with Danny and Jamie in the premiere. Do you get to work with him at all, the new character?
I haven't been able to work with him outside of family dinner scene from last season and then from, I think, this season. So I don't know if is that in this episode? No, it's in the next.
He helped. He tried to help Jamie.
Right. And he was gonna. Yeah, I'm getting all confused. Anyway, I have only been able to work with him in dinner scenes so far.
You do have Whoopi Goldberg in the premiere, so
I don't get to work with her either. No.
Do you have to work with any guest stars? Will was telling me about that too, that he was disappointed that he heard after the fact that Lou Diamond Phillips was on last season.
Yeah, I didn't get to work with him either. Well, I got Steve Sharmap, so I guess what.
I guess he's a handful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk today. It's been great.
You too. Thank you.
And best of luck with the new season.
Thank you.
And it's been great that we haven't heard anything about any coronavirus issues filming. No, we haven't had any. They've done a really good job of keeping us all safe. So kudos to the productions and the producers.